Boom shakalaka, what is going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today it is Friday, April 27th, 2018. We have a news episode. It's Friday, the end of the week. Everybody's working for the weekend. They get to go home, don't have to work anymore. But we're going to get into things before we do. Thank you everyone subscribing. Thank you everyone mashing on that like button. And let's take a look. Well, on CoinMarketCap, total market cap back over $400 billion, up to $418 billion today. Bitcoin dominance dropping a little bit, 37.6%. Bitcoin today is up 4.58%. That is wonderful. Whole bunch of things in the green today. A lot of stuff. Monero's not in the green. Bitcoin Progress not in the green. But everything else is up in the green. Bitcoin's at $9,246. Ethereum at $673. Ripple dropped a little bit over the week, but 84 cents. BCash at $13.93. Not for long. EOS is jumping up 16%. A top 5 crypto up 16% in a day. EOS is up to 1686. You think people are anticipating the release of EOS? Yeah. Litecoin at $150. What are some other ones that are up big? Well, Ethereum Classic is up 10%. Icon we'll talk about in a little bit, up 18.96%. Coin up 18.84%. Bitcoin Diamond up 27.42%. Maybe Bitcoin forks are just the way of the future. Maybe they're going to take over. Probably not. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Bitcoin today. See what's going on with Bitcoin. If we take a look at it. All right, so we were finding some resistance at the $9,000 price. It jumped up to about 10,000. Saw some resistance at that 200-day moving average, and then dropped back down. And now it's coming back up, hovering between $8,000 and between $9,000 and $10,000. Recently, though, if you take a look here, this green line, that is the 12-day moving average. Bitcoin has been finding support on the 12-day moving average a few times there. But it's also been finding resistance at the 200-day moving average. Now, guys, there's a couple articles I want to go into and then come back into this. See, the Pantera Capital CEO, so Pantera backs a whole bunch of cryptocurrency projects. They say that a $40 trillion cryptocurrency market is definitely possible. With a market that big, that might mean John McAfee might not have to suck his own dick. But if you think about it, they're talking about that, and they say, yeah, it's definitely possible. They say the industry could grow to 4 trillion, no problem. 4 trillion, no problem. 40 trillion, definitely possible. Obviously not overnight, not by 2020, not by 2022. Probably like a 10-year forecast. Now they go on further to say that Bitcoin is a screaming buy, and they bet on Icon. Now, those of you who don't know Icon, that is like the blockchain solution for South Korea. South Koreans love cryptocurrency. Icon is a solution. They're also in the blockchain interoperability alliance with Aeon and Wanchain. But Icon went up a whole bunch, 18% today. But back to Bitcoin being a screaming buy. I want you guys to take a look at something. Bitcoin is under the 200-day moving average. The last time that happened, you're going to have to go way back with me. Way back here. Way back. We're back. Boom. The last time that happened was in 2015. I think it was October 2015. There it is. Right there. Nope. Anyways, back in 2015 was the last time that Bitcoin was under the 200-day moving average. Right now we're seeing that again. Bitcoin under the 200-day moving average. All right. That, I think, also means it's a screaming buy. Now, some of you are saying, but do you mean Bitcoin or do you mean BCash? We'll get into that in a little bit. But Pantera's not the only one saying that. Also, Pfeffer Capital. Just sounds fun to say. Pfeffer Capital says Bitcoin to replace gold while market cap could be worth $6 trillion. So we're getting easily between $4 and $6 trillion. That's like a 15 times gain. So whatever you have in Bitcoin cryptos right now, if you don't lose it from doing dumb trades or lose it from, putting your private keys on Evernote, or lose it from just forgetting your private keys, or lose it from sending it to the wrong address, if you don't do that, you could have 15 times at least what you have right now. That's pretty cool. But he says Bitcoin to replace gold He says Bitcoin could eventually be worth $700,000. Wouldn't that be wonderful, huh? Who's not going to work then? I think all of us. But he says Bitcoin is the first viable candidate to replace gold the world has ever seen. So if Bitcoin becomes a dominant non-sovereign store of value, it could be the new gold or new reserve currency. Additionally, they just go on to note a whole bunch of things that have happened recently. 1 in 5 financial institutions are planning to trade cryptocurrencies in the next 12 months. That's a lot of money dumping into crypto. If you thought 2017 was huge, 2018 could be even bigger. Other stuff, Tim Draper talking about how cryptos are bigger than Tesla, Skype, and Hotmail. Tom Lee says he would put fresh money into Bitcoin, not Bitcoin Cash. Now, talking about more institutional investors, the CBOE saw its highest ever Bitcoin futures volume yesterday. Highest ever. Not like doubling it, tripling it, 3 timesing it. So basically, it had 18,210 contracts for May, 703 for June, 87 for July. The average daily volume is about 6,000. So this is like 3 times. 3 times. Now, that they're not sure exactly what that means. Could be spurious, could be nothing, but they'll certainly be watching to see if this is a volume aberration or if more and more institutional types are moving into crypto. Because if more institutional types move into crypto, they have a lot more of the money to dump into crypto. And that money will come to the early adopters. You know, us, right? So, I mean, it's just all good news today. It's Friday. It's Friday. We got rid of the bad news. All good news today on Friday. Nasdaq endorses crypto as the most profitable market of all time. A lot of good quotes here. The CEO of Nasdaq, Adina Friedman, says, "I believe that digital currencies will continue to persist. It's just a matter of how long it will take for that space to mature." So, yeah, that means we're in an immature market right now. That makes sense. But that means we're early on. They also go on to say, if you think it's too late to participate in what could be the most profitable market of all time, you're dead wrong. The industry is still in its infancy despite the explosive growth over the past year. There are hundreds of cryptos available. The trick is finding those that have the best odds of becoming viable long term. That's the trick. That's the trick. So not investing in proof of weak hands, okay? Not investing in Veritasium, okay? Investing in things that have odds of becoming viable long term. But also, guys, we're in the infancy right now. Still, everyone says we're still in the infancy. Still blows my mind because Bitcoin's been around for a while, but still in the infancy, okay? Now, this just made me smile, all right? This just made me smile. Erik Voorhees replying to Roger Ver. Roger, please stop referencing me to back up your opinion that BCash is Bitcoin. It isn't. Bitcoin is a chain originating from the Genesis block with the highest accumulated proof of work. The BCash fork failed to gain majority, thus it is not Bitcoin. That was after this thing where it was just a quote from a while back, 2016, where someone asked Erik Voorhees if he would support if Core didn't support a hard fork, what would he do? And he'd definitely be watching it closely. He'd consider a hard fork. Now, Roger Ver saying, oh, that hard fork obviously meant BCash. Well, no, not true. Now, there's that. But then it gets even better. Oh, also, check this out. I mean, I don't know if there's a lawsuit being organized, but, you know, it would make sense to do that because it seems like all Roger Ver and the BCash party is trying to do is manipulate novice users that BCash is Bitcoin. You know, they're going on to bitcoin.com, at BTC, whatever other things that they have where they just try and manipulate people into thinking that BCash is Bitcoin. It even happened, I was at BTC Miami, okay? The North American Bitcoin Conference in Miami. Who sponsored it? BCash. They had a big tent that said bitcoin.com. They had these hot girls walking around scantily clad saying, hey, you want to get involved with Bitcoin? And they hand you shit about BCash. Go figure, right? So, but there's not only that. Nick Szabo, who's basically, he invented BitGold back in the day, which didn't really make it, but that was like the precursor to Bitcoin. He retweeted this. He said, this says, if you're new to Bitcoin, then please be aware that Bitcoin.com is a fraudulent website. This website is run by Roger Ver, who is a known serial scammer. The current main scam is the promotion of BCash, which is a fake version of Bitcoin. Yeah, BCash is just an altcoin run by Roger Ver and Jihan Wu, completely owned by the miners. And yeah, it's just profitable for them. It's not a viable solution in the long term, especially when Lightning Network is in full production mode. Now let's go into some more news. That was just Happy Friday stuff. Makes me happy. Verge buzzing with activities. TokenPay is next in the collaboration list. All right, so previously Verge partnered with MindGeek, which is Pornhub and Brazzers. There was also talk about them being partnered with Spotify. Well, now TokenPay. All right, and potentially Verge debit cards. Those could be the new things coming out. So Verge has a lot of partnerships up there that could help the price go up quite a bit. In France, they changed the tax laws on Bitcoin from 45% to 19% on capital gains, which is great because in addition to that 19%, they had to pay other social taxes, for making it like 34.5%. So that 45% probably would have been like 60%. So, obviously lower. That's great for people in France. They're probably like, oh, mon Dieu, c'est magnifique. Ah, j'adore la France, j'adore Bitcoin. All that fun stuff. So, yeah, they reduced Bitcoin taxes. Now, this isn't only good for France. This is also good for all over Europe because France is one of the big people in the European Union. And so, things that happen in France could leak over into the rest of the European Union. News for Cardano. This is the first Cardano news I've heard in a long time, but this is good. Cardano is set to launch 2 testnets very soon by mid-May. So they have Cardano 1.2, the recycling process, and then they have they've increased their project management. IOHK hired 27 people in the last 3 months. So yeah, they are moving forward. And then also the Ouroboros wallet, it's somewhere in here. They're aiming to improve that. So they've got all that stuff going on. So Cardano is making moves. Maybe we'll see some price action soon. Almost lastly, in Chile. In Chile, basically the banks decided that cryptocurrencies are not legal, so they just closed off all crypto exchange accounts. Anyone using their bank accounts to access crypto exchanges, they just closed them off. Well, a Chilean anti-monopoly court has reversed that. Banks are ordered to reopen crypto exchange accounts. They have to. So that's very cool. Basically, where was it? Oh yeah. There hasn't been one regulator, legislator, or government official saying that cryptocurrencies aren't legal. It was just a decision of a very powerful sector of the economy. The banking industry. Yeah, the banking industry. Of course they don't like cryptos because it takes away from all their profits. You know, if they wanted to be competitive, they could try doing it better, but instead they're just trying to, like, slow stuff down. That's how they disappear. Lastly, guys, for those of you who are interested in that Electrify Asia thing, so Electrify Asia was, let's see, an OMG's Go airdrop that they had their AMA yesterday. For those of you who want to find out how to get those airdrop tokens, you basically need to hold at least a minimum of 10 OMG tokens. All right, they are going to airdrop 1.5% of the total supply of elect tokens, and they're being dropped to OMG token holders. Now, there was a question of, is it going to be, you know, where do you need to hold this? So ideally, probably on my Ether wallet, something like that. Potentially some of the better exchanges like Binance may allow you to get your airdrops there. But, you know, we'll just have to wait for more information from Electrify Asia for that. I didn't hear anything about a specific date for the snapshot being taken place, but it's going to be the end of August. So just, you know, if you want your free Electrify Asia tokens, buy 10 OMG tokens, just hold them. Easy, simple enough. Last thing, one more thing that I wanted to mention. There was something, this is it. So in this thing about France tax law, they say, Monsieur le Maire, he explained, these new financial technologies bring promises. But at the same time, they bring risks. Terrorism financing, money laundering activities, and speculation. That's why we must define a framework in which new technologies could develop in a safe way for countries and nations. Oh gosh, it's like I hear this so often, just want to bang my head against the wall. Everybody is against cryptocurrencies because they support terrorism and money laundering. You know, terrorists and money launderers have been around a lot longer than 10 years. Okay? No matter when there's a will, there's a way. Maybe we should look at other options in terms of getting rid of terrorism and money laundering. Maybe making the world a peaceful, loving place where people don't want to be terrorists. Maybe not publicizing every terrorist activity on the news so then it gets worldwide news and then the terrorist organization gets all these other people who learn about it who don't like whatever and then they join it. So maybe having like news blackouts on terrorism organizations. So that and then money laundering, guys, you can open up a whole bunch of different cash businesses and launder money. If you want to learn how, watch the show Ozarks on Netflix. It's just all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. All these people say, oh, it's not good for that. It's good. So that was just my little soapbox at the end. But it's Friday. Guys, it is Friday. Everything's on the green on Friday. We've got the weekend coming up. Hopefully, things will keep growing. I mean, potentially 100x gains. Could you guys imagine? Just sit back. Imagine for a couple minutes today, however much you have in your portfolio, 100x that. Boo! I know. That'll be fun. So I hope you all have an awesome, awesome weekend. Enjoy yourselves. And then I will catch you back here for another news episode on Monday. All right? Peace!